Hi everyone and welcome back to the Crafty Yellow Camper, and I am back with you today with another no stamping apart from the sentiment inside Christmas card. It's getting on in time a little bit for making cards if you've got a lot to do. So if you're anything like me, you've probably hit panic mode and you're thinking, how can I make quite a lot of cards quickly? So hopefully this might help you out. Okay, so once more I'm going to be using the dies from the Lights Aglow, they're called the Twinkling Light dies, and they're the ones that coordinate with the Christmas lights stamp set, although we won't be using the stamp set. And this time we're going to use the Christmas tree. You may have seen a previous video where I've used the snowflake. That was also a no stamp Christmas card apart from the greeting. So if you want to have an alternative for quick makes, then have a look. So on this one I've used the Christmas tree, and again this is a two-part die. So you have the middle part here which doesn't cut out the edge shape, it just purely cuts out the little dots and embosses bits. And then you have this bit which is the outline shape, and this outline shape coordinates with the Christmas tree that is in the Christmas lights stamp set. There we go. It does, believe me. Okay, so I've already prepared all the bits and pieces that we need just to make this a quick and simple video for you to hopefully watch and then get on with your own Christmas cards. So I'm just going to pop those dies away. I know what I'm like, I will lose them. Okay, let's pop those out of the way, and we'll pop that stamp set out of the way as well. Now what I've done this time, my card does fit into a C6 envelope, but it is half of an A4 sheet cut lengthways. So if you're in the UK or anywhere else that uses the A4 cardstock, it's cut at 10.5 centimeters down the length of the sheet. If you're in the US or anywhere like that, obviously you can do the same but with your letter sized cardstock. So I've scored it at 14.8, and then on the front I've scored it again, and I've left my ruler out just to confirm the measurements with you. So I've scored it again at 3 centimeters, or if you are in the US and you're working in inches, it is just under 1 1/4. So you could score pretty much at 1 1/4 and it would work. Okay, so that's that. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to glue this section down because we don't want that to be unfolded. So I'm just going to pop some Tombow on the back there, and we're going to glue that section down. I'll just fold that over so I can give it a good press while I talk you through the rest. So we've basically got the edge of the front of the card folded back on itself. Okay, so then I'll talk you through the papers. So this is from this set, which is the Festive Foils 12 by 12s, and you get 6 sheets, and there are 2 of each pattern. So there are 2 of the gold with the sort of gold spots on, there are 2 of the red with the red little snowflakes, and there are 2 of the green with the bigger snowflake pattern on it. And this piece is cut at 8 centimeters by 10. So it's 10 by 8, and it doesn't really matter which way round. And if you're in inches, that is 3 7/8 by 3 1/8. Yes, not a 16th. Okay, and then I've got 2 strips. This is from the Lights Aglow paper pack, and this is cut, which is a 6 by 6 paper pack. Sorry, I should have said that. This is cut at 10 by 2.5, and that's going to fit on there. So if you are working in inches, that is 3 7/8 by 1. And then I've done the same with this. I've got to hold that up so you can see that. This is the sort of brushed gold. There we go. Hopefully you can see that a bit better. Now this is luxurious. It's called Distressed Gold 12 by 12, and you do actually only get 2 sheets of this, which is why we're using a small part. But it is absolutely beautiful. The camera doesn't really do it justice. It's almost like it's been gold leafed. It's beautiful. So what we're going to do, we'll start making the card up. So with our 10 by 8 centimetre section, that is going to go on here. And these have all been cut to leave a 1/2 centimetre border all the way around. There we go. That's going to go on there. And then just to break up the gold a little bit, we're going to have our piece with the red on. Oh, sorry, I should have said this is cherry cobbler for the card base. So the red that you're seeing is cherry cobbler. And again, this has got some foiling on it. And again, it's been cut to be 1/2 centimetre smaller than the place we're sticking it on. Now I use Tombow because that gives you a little bit of wiggle room, and you can see that sort of went on the skew width a little bit. And then for our gorgeous distressed piece, that's going to go on the end here, so that that's where you open the card. And I've just got Tombow all over my hands. Okay, and again, that's been cut so that it's 1/2 centimetre smaller all the way around than the red. Oh, I knew that would happen. A little bit of Tombow on there because I've got it on my fingers. I'm just desperately trying not to get it on the gold paper. And then, so the card opens like this. And then what I've got is, I've used the Christmas tree die, as I've explained. I used the inside and the outside. I'm just going to get my pokey tool. You can't really see on the red where you've missed, where there's bits that need to be poked out. And actually, I think I'm going to leave it. If you turn it over, you can see where there's, oh, actually, no, I don't know that they are meant to pop out. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to put some dimensionals on this, but I'm going to use mini ones so that I can get in between. Sorry, let me just move that up. So I can get in between the die cut sections. Now, obviously, normally on something this big, I would use larger dimensionals. But by using the mini ones, it means that we can pop them in the gaps. It does mean you need a few more. That's the only drawback, but they're not going to show. The last thing we want with all that gold and glitz and what have you is to be able to see a white dimensional through the tree. Okay, so I'll just flick the backs off these. And now I've got sticky fingers. They're all sticking to me. Oh my goodness me. Okay, I think we've got one more back to get off. Yes, there we go. The rest are all off. And this is going to be mounted on this panel here. Now the tree is just about the right size. Don't press it down until you're sure you've got it in absolutely the right place. There we go. That's just going to go in the middle there. And then we need a piece of white card to go in here. Now, I normally pre-cut all my white card. But as you can see, that would cover up that lovely piece of gold. So normally, my pieces of card for inside the card would be 10 by 14.3. But as you can see, I clearly need to cut that down. So let's just measure the space. So from the crease, I'm sorry if I'm pulling this off camera, but I just need to be able to see. From the crease of the card to here is 12 centimetres. So I'm going to cut that down to 11, and then that should give us 1/2 centimetre round. Okay. Just pop my trusty trimmer out of the way. And then that is going to fit on there like that, because we don't want to see that piece of white when the card is shut. Okay, so that needs to go more towards that more towards that side, but I'm trying to do it so that I am leaving a gap there. So we're just going to stamp on that. I'm going to bring in the Jingle 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 stamp set, and what shall we have? I think we will have Jolly. So this stamp set, there is an outline. You can see that there is an outline stamp, and then there is an infill stamp. You don't have to use them both together, and I'm going to use them separately. Just going to grab a block to mount it on. So now I could do this in gold embossing powder, but I think the cherry cobbler will show up a little bit better. So we're going to do our jingle. Now you do need to make sure you get your cardstock round the right way. So otherwise, if you do it that way, it's not going to fit. So obviously we want the longer edge, which is only just the longer edge, facing the right way. So we're going to put jingle in there. And then there are some sort of scripty bits that go with it. So you've basically got jingle all the way, 'tis the season to be jolly, and believe in the magic. So I'm going to use the all the way, and I'm just using my grid paper to line up the script so it's straight. Pop my block down on top, and then we're going to stamp that underneath. There we go. Right, I'm just going to move that ink pad out of the way. I am terrible with dark coloured ink pads, and I get covered in ink. Okay, so I'm just going to use some Tombow on the back of that. And in case you're wondering what that noise was, it occurred to me the other day that this clinks every time I put it back in the mug. I either use a mini jam jar, so these like individual portion jam jars. I don't know if you have these in the States and Canada, but in the UK this is what you tend to get with a cream tea, a small portion of jam. I know that some hotels have them, although a lot of hotels seem to have moved over to a plastic container, but they are absolutely brilliant for standing your Tombow upside down in, so that you have the glue at the end that you want it. But usually on my videos, if you hear a chink like that, that's because I also keep a mug on my desk, which has got various other bits. It's got my Wink of Stella pens, it's got a fine tip glue, a Sharpie, some other bits and pieces, and I tend to chuck it back in that when I'm recording videos. So if you wondered what the chink was, there you go. Okay, so we're almost there. So we've got our card all stuck together, we've got our sentiment stamped in the middle, and I just think we need a little bit of bling. So it's not Christmas if you don't have bling, is it? Right, what have I done with my pokey tool? There it is. So again, I've got the red and green adhesive back pearls. I think I've said this on a video before. They aren't just red and green. You've got red, green, silver and gold. And some of my customers have ordered these and then sent me a message or rung me up and said, where are the red ones? It's just green, silver and gold. And the red ones tend to hide underneath the label, just in case you've got some and haven't got them out and we're thinking the same thing. So we're going to use some of these little gold ones, and we're just going to pop a few randomly on our tree. Okay, we've got 3 on there, always working odd numbers. So I've got 3 of the gold ones, and then we're just going to pop a couple of the red ones. Oh, come on. Can't pick the red ones up for some reason. They don't want to be pronged off the sheet. There we go. I'm just going to pop a couple of the red ones randomly around, around the tree. No, if we put, right, so I've just got 2 red ones. If we put another one on, then we're going to be into even numbers, and then that's going to upset me. Can't cope with that. And then what we're going to do is just going to come in with one of the little basic rhinestones and pop that in the middle of the star on the top of the tree. Now, you could always put a greeting along here if you felt like it, but there we go. So another card that is absolutely no stamping involved, just a bit of die cutting, a little bit of stamping in the inside for your sentiment, but you don't even have to do that if you don't want to, and something that you can prepare all the pieces for and sit in front of the TV and put together if you are getting panicked about your cards. So I hope you like it, and I'll be back soon with hopefully some more cards. And thanks for watching and putting up with me rabbiting on about a load of nonsense usually. I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching again. Happy stamping. Bye for now.